that are made for
Me and my
$3.
sister have been
Yeah.
best friends
Well, yeah,
since
they're
birth. We were
listen.
13 months apart,
Yeah.
and I said one day to her about something about Trump and the Project 25, and ever since then, we don't talk.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I also could say I have
She's,
yeah.
but she's a correctional officer, and I know that Biden did her raises, and she blames everything. I don't even care if she blames it on. She blames it, but she's sick. She's like, I don't care what Donald Trump wants. That's what I want.
And because of that, you guys don't talk anymore. Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that. I can hear the pain in your voice, and it pains me to hear that. But here's what I would tell you. I understand you probably have a long relationship with this woman. She was probably a dear friend of yours, and I'm sure that you guys have had a lot of fun times together. But let me tell
My
you,
sister, she's my real sister for 53 years.
well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I have to be honest with you. You sound like a very nice lady and a compassionate lady. Anybody who is that sycophant of Donald Trump is very mentally ill. And guess what? If they're not seeking help or they're not willing to get help, then that is a very dangerous person for you to be around. And I know that might be very.
The people that are MAGAs or even just like Donald Trump, they just don't. They're literally trying to justify why it's okay for him to have a $400 million plane.
Yeah, they're sick.
I mean,
but you have to make a decision.
disgusting.
Okay, so hold on. There comes a point in your life, and it sounds like you've already come to this point in your life, where you have to make a decision. Are you going to continue to have a relationship with somebody, whether they're your sister or brother or a family member?
No, she won't even talk to me.
Yeah, well, guess what? Then she doesn't deserve to talk to you, because it sounds to me like she is
I
very.
feel the way I feel. I don't feel crazy anymore. I feel sick that there's actual people that are this. I don't know what they are. They're like.
Well, there are a lot of different things. First of all, you can be mentally ill but not be a bad person. It sounds to me like your friend is not only mentally ill, but not a very compassionate person. Let's just call it for what it is. Not a very good person. She might have some good qualities, but she's not a compassionate person. And let me explain to you why really quickly. And I think you probably know, but let me explain to you why. If somebody is okay with human beings not getting due process, then they're a bad person. If somebody is okay, if somebody's okay with pardoning a bunch of people who beat police officers on January 6th and calling them patriots, then you are a bad person.
That didn't happen.
If somebody
you won't believe the things that even my daughter, me and my daughter don't talk either. They think that people literally filmed this in other places and then played it on TV and lied about it.
Listen, I'll be even more clear.
I've never seen such sick people in my life. I've never.
Neither have I, but I'm going to take it one step further. If somebody is okay with voting for a president who brags about going into teenage locker rooms and watching them change naked,
don't even say that.
If you're okay with that behavior, then you're despicable, and I want nothing to do with you. Well, listen, in closing, I want to
Donald Trump before he was ever a president.
No, well,
because he's not. It's not about politics with him.
You knew more than I did, and I appreciate that, my dear.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm very sorry to hear about your friend not even talking anymore, but it sounds like she's an imbecile, and you don't. She doesn't deserve somebody like you in her life. That's how I feel. Let her be a Trump sicko fan, and then when she loses all her money, and then when she loses her job, and then when she loses her 401k, and then her medical benefits, maybe she'll wake up and smell the coffee. But unfortunately, by then it'll be too late.